Memphis, Worcester. Trash. It's no Newport, Rhode Island, that's for damn sure.
You and Paris Van Dale both, Newport, Rhode Island.
It's a beautiful city.
Okay, maybe, but it's very snobby as well.
It doesn't have homeless people sitting on the street, that's for sure.
Oh, will you calm down over there? Spike Nishimura about to go one-on-one in a rematch from 1 week ago. You saw how it ended last time. Do you think Tiara's going to learn her lesson?
We all know when it comes to Tiara James that if she makes a mistake, she's for sure not going to make it again.
Well, she made a mistake right there, just as you said that.
Well, she isn't going to make it again, I can promise you that.
Well, Tiara James, very well trained, very well traveled, and somebody who is a star on the rise. Spike representing that counterculture, that infectious energy. Two totally different types of people, but both with a lot of potential in this great sport.
Polar opposites wrestling in the ring right now, Paul Crockett, but guess what? Honestly, is this a fight for which culture is better?
Well, I don't know if I want to get into all that, but I will say I brought up high school in the last match. This is definitely like walking down the halls of high school with two different groups hanging out with each other. Who is it going to be, the counterculture or top tier here tonight?
Or as I would describe it, the popular girl and the girl that sat by herself at lunch.
Well, how do you know Spike didn't have friends in high school?
Why did you assume that I was talking about Spike? Ooh, gotcha on that one, Paul.
You are a sly one, BRG, as Tiara pushes Spike into that corner. Of course, Tiara, the Damian Adams trained athletes. There have been a myriad of female talents in our sport who have come through Team Adams over the years. So if you come from there, you are no slouch, but Spike is showing that she can hang with anybody.
Well, when it comes to somebody that comes from Providence, you have to have that type of fighting spirit, that's for sure.
Definitely have to have that edge about you if you're going to come up in a city like Providence, Rhode Island. But I will say that this also goes back to the last stand at the Palladium. 6-woman tag team action. Spike teaming with Lauren St. James, who is on the road to recovery from her injury, and Davienne against Tiara, Tina San Antonio, and Paris Van Dale. So there's a lot of lingering feelings from that as well.
And I'm sure we're going to see those come out in this match, for sure.
As Tiara favoring that shoulder after Spike doing what she does best. She really breaks it down to a basic level, very much like you in that sense when it comes to the fundamentals of wrestling.
Well, when it comes to the fundamentals, they're the one thing in wrestling that never go out of style. I can promise you that some of the offense that we've seen tonight have just been based down to the fundamentals.
As into the corner and shoulder block in the corner as Spike, look at her scrappy in that corner. She's not just laying down, she's trying to actively fight out of that position, but Tiara James trying to make sure that there's going to be no fight left in Spike.
She's scrappy, but Tiara James is breaking her down bit by bit, focusing on that waist.
Almost got the victory right there, as she remembers 1 week ago where she took way too much time to go back on the offensive against Spike. Spike made her pay for it, and now Tiara wants to make her pay for that.
What did I say earlier in this match? I said that Tiara James made a mistake and she made sure not to make it again. She has been on Spike from the start. From the get-go, Tiara James has not let up.
She has absolutely been ruthless and relentless here against Spike, but that is part of her drive and her ego to prove that she is top tier and everyone else is at the bottom. Oh, pinning attempt. Oh, out at 2, and now Spike going for a submission here. Can she lock it in?
Desperation from Spike right now, grabbing this submission out of nowhere. Could Tiara James tap out?
She might have to give it up here. Spike in a good position, but Tiara realizing her position, getting that foot on the bottom.
All about the fundamentals there, Paul Crockett. Tiara knows her ring awareness better than anybody on the women's roster here at Wrestling Open.
I would have to agree with you on that one, as she reverses that Irish whip. Hits a flapjack, and down goes Spike. And look at that again, to the positioning, makes the cover, but that also could have cost her right there.
People don't realize that in professional wrestling, every second counts. I'll have to give it to you on that one, Paul Crockett. Good call. That one split second of pulling Spike away from the ropes may have cost Tiara James the match right there.
Tiara James now, forget about fundamentals. Those shots have nothing to do with the fundamentals. This is all about perhaps getting a bit frustrated and angry that she's not proving as quickly as she likes that she is the top tier of wrestling open. Here comes Spike on the comeback trail. Tiara back to her feet. There's a kick to the midsection, and now Spike perhaps calling for a big shot here to put Tiara away.
Listen to these sheep in Worcester.
Big boot, she connected with it. And now Spike is the one who may be making the mistake that Tiara did last week. Gonna try to put her away.
Possibly.
Picks her up. No, Tiara reverses. There is the lung blower, backcracker, whatever you want to call it. It looked brutal. But Spike gets that shoulder up.
I could have sworn that was it, Paul. I could have sworn. Like I said earlier, every second counts, and the couple of seconds that Spike took may have given Tiara all the time she needed to recover and nail that backstabber.
Spike breaking free. Gets a hold of that wrist, tries the clothesline, inside cradle. Oh, she had her foot on the rope. You gotta be kidding me with that. Tiara takes it.
The time of the fall, 6 minutes, 4 seconds. Here is your winner, top tier, Tiara James.
Well, not only did she learn from her mistakes, she cheated to fix it this time.
No, she had great ring awareness, Paul Crockett. She had great ring awareness.
Well, now Spike Nishimura is the one who has to try to figure out what went wrong. And who knows if she's going to get a rematch, but I feel like it's even at one apiece. I want to see a tiebreaker.
Who wouldn't want to see a tiebreaker at this point?
Well, Spike perhaps will get a chance to do just that, as she and Tiara James are now 1-1.